Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the channel. I just want to say hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. As you can tell by today's thumbnail, this is a story that's very tragic in terms of the events that took place. Now, this is a family out of Modesto, California. Now, it's been circulating online since June. Now, I caught wind of this situation a few weeks ago. I'm not heavily involved in TikTok. To me, it's the same as Instagram and other social media platforms. So I'm not big when it comes to using TikTok. But I came across this video that was, or a picture that was circulating online, and it was of a father who was kissing his daughter on the forehead, and she had these tubes in her mouth. And I didn't really know too much about the story, and so I'm reading the comments, and all I seen was justice for Bree. And so I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments because I wanted to see what happened, what the story was about, and I couldn't really find much. And there's another content creator who shared some information today about a car wash that took place that's helping the family. So as I looked more into it, I found out the events that took place. Now, I don't know anybody that was involved personally. I don't know the family. All I know is that something bad happened. So as I'm reading, I find out. And so there was a 16-year-old girl who is now 17. She just had a 17th birthday. But at the time of this incident, she was 16 years old. And the events were very unfortunate. So word has it, her family, I don't know if it was her mom, her dad, or both of them, I don't know which one it was exactly, but they dropped her off with their friends, to hang out. She's a 16-year-old girl. That's what teenagers do. They hang out. There's nothing wrong with that. So she goes to hang out with her friends, and allegedly some scumbag, 23 years old, he messaged her somehow. I don't know if they knew each other just from online. I don't know if they had been talking, but she gets invited over to a party, her and her friends. And I don't know what took place, but he allegedly shot her 6 to 8 times. Shot her with an assault rifle, and she's been in a coma. And so when I seen this picture floating around on TikTok, it had a lot of views, a lot of likes, a lot of comments. It was flooded with comments. And it was heartbreaking to see a father in that position. If you got kids, I'm sure we could all understand how he was feeling and what was going on through his mind at that time. Now, me, I got daughters. And as a father, our job is to be a protector. Our job is to be a provider. And we want the best for our kids. And so it was heartbreaking looking at that picture, because I could only imagine, what was going on through his mind and how he felt. So the family got some good news. They got news that their daughter, she didn't pass away. She didn't lose her life. She just had her 17th birthday, but she wasn't able to, enjoy her 17th birthday. So the family got some news that she is going to be coming home, but she had major brain damage. So more than likely she's going to have to learn how to walk and talk and get all her mobile skills back. And so the family, a lot of people have come in to support the family, whether it be through encouraging words or financially, whatever the case was. So the family they've had a lot of support, and they felt the love from the communities. And recently the families, they reached out, and they're going to need a wheelchair that's that reclines, because their daughter's not able to sit up straight. She's gonna have to be in a position that's comfortable for her. She does have a trach, a feeding tube, the whole nine. It's gonna be a long road to recovery, but God is good, and you know, I believe that God is shielding this family with His armor, and He's protecting them, because this young lady, she still has a lot of life ahead of her. And it's very sad and unfortunate that this fucking scumbag, excuse my language, but if you got daughters, I'm pretty sure you understand where I'm coming from. This scumbag, for whatever reasons, he took advantage. I'm just curious why a 23-year-old would find that it's okay to want to hang out with a minor. I don't understand that. We hear about these stories all the time. These fucking pedophiles, these weirdos. If you're that desperate, they got call girls. Go on Instagram. They got all kind of girls on there. That'll do shit for money. Now I'm not saying I'm not sitting here promoting that, but I'm saying if you want to get you a hooker or something, they're walking around town. They're everywhere. Go find one. There's no need to prey on these young girls out here. Anyways, he pays for an Uber and invites them over to party, and I don't know what took place. I didn't get that information, but if I had to guess, he probably was trying to take advantage of her, and she said no. She probably said, I'm gonna call my family, or I'm gonna let somebody know what happened, or we're gonna leave. And he panicked, and he shot her. But not only did he shoot her, he actually went the extra mile, dropped her off at the hospital to the birthing unit. And I don't know why. I didn't get that far in the story, but that's the word that I got from the information that I got online, was that he dropped her off at the hospital. He didn't want to at first he didn't want to give her any aid at home. He shot her. He panicked. Whatever the case was, she shouldn't have been there in the first place. I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm not placing blame on the family, but you do not take advantage of minors. It's just what it is. Obviously, this dude has no morals. He has no principles. He had no respect for human life, and so there's a place for people like that. And whatever's coming to him, whatever's in God's will, he's gonna meet his fate. And that's just what it is. But what I wanted to address was that, here on YouTube, this is a platform that we all share to encourage one another, to uplift each other. Everybody does content how they feel, how they see fit. Some people, they use this platform to use their talents, whether it be music, whether it be self-help, motivational speeches, sports, fitness, whatever the case may be. But when you turn on YouTube nowadays, and I spoke on this in a lot of my videos, when you turn on YouTube, when you tune in, all you see is people tearing down one another, talking about the next man, talking about these idiots, Swifty Blue and Lefty Gunplay. And by the way, I don't even know who these dudes are. You keep hearing these names, and I see the thumbnails, and I'm just like, I'm not interested in this shit. It's corny. And like I said, YouTube, within the last year or two, it's been a circus. And I just haven't bought any tickets. A lot of these dudes are one-trick ponies. You've heard one slanderous comment, you've heard them all. It's just what it is. And I'm not here to knock nobody, but I put up a community post earlier on my channel, and I said, because a lot of these content creators, what they do is they get on here and they talk about unification. We're all about unifying our raza. We're here to back up our people. We're here to support one another, when they're doing the total opposite. You see, all they do is just continue to tear each other down. and speak bad on one another and put out false narratives. And I got paperwork on this person, I got paperwork on that person, this person said that, I got a phone call. Listen, who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, who cares about what the next man is doing? If it ain't putting money in your pocket, who cares? You know what we should be doing is advocating for each other, advocating for our youth. Let's put together some educational videos, whether it be financial literacy, or let's be here for these kids mentally. Let's all get together and let's form a community to help each other and support one another with our mental health. But see, not everybody wants to do that. All people care about, see, some of you content creators, they got big platforms. Y'all could be doing so much work like in the community, but instead you're sitting here pulling up paperwork. Guess who snitched? Guess who did this? Guess who did that? How does that benefit you? All that, you just spread negativity, and all these people that you got following you, all your little minions, they don't care about you. The moment that you switch up your conversations is the moment you're gonna lose followers. Look at my platform, my channel. I only got 360 some subscribers, and I'm cool with that. It's only 360 people, real ones that actually follow me and support me. I'm cool with that, because I'd rather have 360 real ones than thousands and thousands of fake ones. They're only there to tap in to see when you're talking negative about another individual. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. All they're here is for entertainment. And YouTube is entertaining. Like I said, people put out content that it's their art. You know what I'm saying? It's their platform. They're allowed to talk about. I'm not here to say who can talk about what and who can't talk about, this, that, and the third. What I'm saying is, why don't you all come together, including myself, if you're willing to collaborate with me. My goal, as of today, is I want this family's story to be heard. Justice for Bree. You could tell she's a fighter. She's been in a coma for almost 2 months. And the doctors, she's made some good progress. She's ready to come home. Now, she still has a long road to recovery ahead of her. But I haven't seen, what makes me upset is that I haven't seen this young lady's story on no major news media outlet. Not one. And I'm not trying to play, listen, I'm not here to cause division. I'm not here to play the race card. But I tell you what, the other day, a young lady, I don't know if she was young, but a lady by the name of Sonia Massey, I forgot what state it is. She was shot in her own home by a police officer who is another scumbag. Now, if you guys seen the video, and I will do a video on that, but let me just speak on this real quick for a few minutes. That garnered national attention because it was a white cop that killed her. Think about that for a second. And what she said was, I rebuke you. As soon as she said, I rebuke you, she irritated that man's demons. And he shot her in the face. He shot her in the face or in the head. He shot her 3 times. He had his gun out and he said, I'll fucking shoot you in the face, because she had a pot of boiling hot water. Now, I don't want to get too much into that video because I'm going to put one out. But I want to go back to this family here, Modesto. I reached out to, I was able to find her parents' social media account. And I messaged Mr. Alonzo, and I asked him if I could share, if I have his blessings to speak about his daughter's story, because I feel like it needs to be, we need to bring some awareness to this. Because this is just my opinion. Again, we all have an opinion. So I just want to speak on this real quick. If this young lady had been white, it would have garnered a lot more attention. But us Hispanics and blacks, we don't get that same attention. And it still shows you how, racism still exists. Now, I'm not trying to play the race card. I'm just speaking the facts. If that young lady had been white, it'd have been a different story. If that young lady had been white and she was shot the way she was by a Hispanic or a black male, the table would have been turned. It happens all the time. So what I'm asking anybody who sees this, I want you to share it. You got my blessings to share it. I want you to comment. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you feel I'm wrong, and let me know why. Because this family, think about it. I'm not trying to separate the women, but let me just talk to the males. Let's look at it. Let's look at it as if this was your daughter. How would you feel if you dropped your daughter off to go have some fun and you get that call? I could only imagine what he was going through. That had to be a fucking nightmare. And to sit there every day for more than 50 days and watch your daughter in a coma, helpless. You would give your whole life to be in her shoes, to trade places. I know I would with my daughters. And so it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, but the love and support that they've received from the communities, it was dope to see that. But it needs to be, we need to bring more, shed some more light and bring awareness. And we need to, make these news media outlets put this story out there. Now, dude did get caught. He had his day in court. I don't know what happened, but he pleaded not guilty, and the judge raised his bail to like $500,000 or something. But he deserves to stay in there, and it's not my place to judge a dude. But to his behavior, it's uncalled for. You're a 20-something-year-old man. Ain't no reason why you should be hanging out with minors. You know what I'm saying? And I believe everybody that was involved with him should be held accountable as well. And, one thing that I wanted to address while I'm on the topic is, parents, sometimes we want to give our kids freedom. We want to give kids freedom. We want to let them enjoy themselves as youth, but we got to set boundaries. Now, I'm not placing the blame on their parents at all. The point that I'm trying to make is that, like even me, my daughter, she's 18 now. But, when she was in high school, even when she was in junior high and middle school, I kept my daughter, when she was in elementary, in middle school, and even in high school, I kept my daughter sheltered. Because we live in a society nowadays where you got scumbags that are preying on little kids. They're online, pretending to be other people, imposters. And, these young girls, they're vulnerable. You hear about it all the time. They leave, and that's the parents' biggest fear, is dropping your daughter off thinking she's safe and she's hanging out with her friends. And then they go and take off to a party, and then you might not ever see them again. And then how would you feel? So that's always something that I've kept in the back of my mind when it came to letting my daughter go and hang out with her friends. Even my sons, it is a two-way street. Boys, like as fathers, like us men, we want to teach our boys to be strong, and they could take care of themselves, a little bit of that macho shit. But they need our attention just as much as our daughters need our attention. But we tend to give our sons a little bit more wiggle room, if that makes sense. Sometimes you give your kids a little bit of freedom, and then they break your trust, And then, you gotta lay down the law of your home. There's rules that are in place, a structure. Everything has to have some type of structure, whether it's at home, at work, at school, whatever. Me, I work with kids. Everybody knows that by now. If you didn't know that, now you know. I work with kids, and I don't treat the kids that I work with any different than how I treat my kids. I discipline them all the same. Now, there's limits. There's certain things that I can't say to kids that I work with because they're not my kids. But in terms of giving them redirection and constantly having to remind them about their expectations in the classroom, outside the classroom, I'm on it. And, if you knew these kids, they'll tell you, I don't play around at work. I'm all about building, meaningful relationships with them, but I got boundaries. I set myself boundaries, and I let them know, like, hey, you could talk to me about anything. If there's something bothering you, if people are making you feel uncomfortable, if you're being bullied, whatever the case is, depending on the circumstances, you come and tell me, and I'm 1,000% sure that I'm gonna get that situation taken care of. Because they want to know that you care. Because some of them come from unfortunate circumstances, but it's just what it is. And we're there to help them. We're there to put, plans in place to help them succeed, whether it be academically or behaviorally. Anyways, I don't want to get off topic, but it's all about setting boundaries. And so there's been times where my kids have broke the rules. You cut them a little bit of slack and they break your trust, and there's consequences, And so if there's any parents that are watching this, just be mindful that you can't just let your kids just go out and give them that freedom, because kids are going to be kids. One thing I learned about being a parent, and I've been a parent since I was 16 years old. Back in 1999, I had my first daughter, and I was really a really young father. I was like 16 going on 17 years old, and I was a kid having a kid, and so I had to being a parent is not easy. It's a learning technique, just like anything else. And so one thing for me was, I've learned that as parents, you could give your kids all the tools that they need to succeed. Now, however they apply that, that's solely on them. When they get 18 and they're adults, whatever you do with your life, that's on you. But just know that I gave you the tools that you need to succeed. I gave you all the advice that I could. I gave you everything that you needed, knowledge-wise. And I hope that you apply that to have a successful future. That's the only thing that I was trying to tell my kids. I still got little ones, and I try to instill as much knowledge and be there for them, and let them know that I do care, and that I care about their future, because I do want my kids to grow up to be successful. I don't want them to make the same mistakes that I did growing up. So as parents, it's okay to invade your kids' privacy. See, a lot of parents, they don't want to, they want to be the cool parent. They want to be friends with their kids, and you can't do that. You got to, again, it's all about boundaries. You got to set your kids, you got to set boundaries and let them know that there's only going to be certain shit that you're going to tolerate. I hold them accountable, and they should hold themselves accountable as well. If they could take full responsibility for their actions, then I salute them. Thank you. I see where your heart's at. But if you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over, then you're just going in a circle. I want to see progress. And I feel that we should invade our kids' privacies. We should go through their phones. We should see who that they're in communication with, who they're messaging online, because they got Snapchat now, you got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got X, used to be Twitter. You got all TikTok, you got all these platforms that kids are just making multiple accounts and just talking to total strangers, because in their minds, they're getting views and they're getting likes. And it's people out here, there's predators, they're everywhere. They're making fake accounts, and they're trying to lure these kids in. Now, the parents of this young girl, Bree, I'm not saying that was the case. Their intentions were just dropping her daughter off. You never know. Their daughter might have said, we're just going to hang out and watch movies or just chill here at the house. And they were online. Who knows what type of relationship that this young girl, Bree, had with this individual who did this horrible shit to her. He might have told her that he was her age. And she probably went over there to the party. Might have been the first time they met. He tried to pull some funny shit. And things went left. So nobody knows. But what we do know is that, life changed for this family. Life changed for this family. It's probably never going to be the same again. So at the same time, we just got to uplift this family in prayer. And what I'm asking anybody who comes across my channel, especially my subscribers, because you guys get notified whenever I go live or whenever I share some of my community posts or whenever I put out content. This is what I'm asking y'all to do. If y'all really support me and y'all really support my channel, what I want you guys to do is I want you to share this video. Leave me some comments of how you feel. If you feel I said anything that was misleading or wrong, let me know, because I'm always open for discussion. But I feel like we all need to come together as people. You guys want to talk about unification? Let's unite and let's help this family out in the time of need. If you can make a donation, make a donation. If I can, like I said, I shot the father of this young lady a DM. I'm waiting for him to get back to me. And if he gives me his blessing to put out the information, they got Cash App, they got they got some type of app to help them financially. If he gives me his okay, then I will use that information and put it on my platform. And again, my channel, I'm not doing this for views or likes. I'm doing this out of the greatness of my heart, because like I said, I have daughters and I can only imagine what this family is going through. And this looks like a very close-knit family who are very supportive of each other, and they've been dealing with a very difficult time. And I feel like we as Hispanics, you don't even have to be Hispanic. You could be white, you could be black, you could be Asian, you could be whatever. But let's uplift this family in spirit, in prayer. And if you can help out financially, like I said, as soon as he gives me his blessing, we could all come together and we could do something great. But I want to share it. I want this story to get shared so that we can give them the light that needs to be shed on this particular story and the events that took place, because I feel like they deserve it. It's not on no news media outlet. You turn on the news, what are we hearing right now? Donald Trump he got a clip in the air, which I ain't buying that bullshit. But I'm not here to talk about Trump. That's a clown. Like I said, I'm not here to talk about the circus. I'm here to talk about this family and how we can help them and come together as a community, because a lot of people get on here and talk about the raza and we need to support one another and yada yada yada. But when you get on here, all you see is people tearing each other down and talking negative about one another. And it's getting to a point where it's starting to feel useless. Like, what most of you guys should do is just get rid of your channels. Nobody cares about how much prison politics can you guys talk about? How many gang stories can you guys talk about? You've heard one gang story, you've heard them all. You've seen one person's paperwork, whether it's real or fake, you've seen it all. Nobody cares. What does that do for you? Does it boost your morale? Does it put money in your pocket? Yeah, you might get a piece of paperwork that, somebody snitched or somebody said this or somebody was cooperating with such and such. And it gives you a little bit of views. It puts you a few dollars in your pocket. But at the end of the day, do you feel great? Did you do something that you accomplished? What did you do to help make this world a better place? Because you got to understand, the majority of people watching are youngsters. They're looking at you guys, pull out these antics, and they're following. We got to lead by example. I'm nobody to tell anybody how to run their channel, but I say, if we're gonna do things, man, let's do things the right way. That's my message. Like, let's help this family out. Let's bring her message out there. Let's put it all out there. Let's get this story recognized, and let's shed some more light, because they deserve that. Because we all know if the tables were turned, it'll be a different story. Because the way they look at it, the people, when I say the people, look, it's not about causing division. It's not about taking shots at any races, but us Hispanics and blacks will look different when it comes to the white people. We're looked at as different. We're looked at as thugs, gangsters, hoodlums, losers, whatever you want, trouble, whatever you want to call it, okay? But it's sad that, that it's 2024 and we're still having these issues. And it starts with us. It starts with change. You got to change the way you think. You got to change the way that you speak, because listen, your words are just as important as your actions. People don't understand the power of your words. You say certain shit, and listen, I'm guilty of it. I said some things that I shouldn't have, but you start to speak these things into existence, and sooner or later those things are going to come back and haunt you. And we've seen with different content creators the drama that it brings. But I'm not here to talk about content creators and what they should do, what they shouldn't do. What I'm saying is that all of us as a YouTube family, as a community, because there really are some dope people on here, I feel like we should come together and let this young lady's story be heard. So if you upload something on your community post, or you got a video, tag it, man. Justice for Bree. And let's see where we can go with this thing, and let's help this family out. And like I said, I'm waiting for the family to reach out to me. Hopefully they reply, and if they give me their blessings, I will be as helpful and share the information that is needed so that we can help them. I know that times are rough for a lot of people right now, especially with the cost of living. But I'm sure they don't care too much about, if you can bless them financially, cool, with a couple dollars, they ain't gonna be mad at that. But even if you can keep them in your prayers, I'm sure they'll be grateful. So with that being said, I didn't mean to bore you guys with this video, but I really am gonna take this serious, this story, and I'm gonna try to push it as much as I can. So I hope that y'all enjoy your Saturday night with your loved ones. Tell them that you love them, because tomorrow's never promised. At the blink of an eye, your life can change just like that. So with that being said, man, this your boy E. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, be great, people. Let's be great. Let's uplift one another. Let's motivate each other. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.